Hello friends, how are you? It's me Kaushiki here again, and for those who don't know, I'm a qualified obs, gynae and infertility specialist. Currently I'm in Australia. I'm looking for a Australian job here for the Australian government, and today we shall be talking about that why I left my high paying Indian consultant job in the city of Gurgaon to choose a life which is very different. It is a lot calmer and a lot less glamorous than what it was in India, and there is a reason. Hope I'm able to convey the sentiments behind my step. And if you're interested to know about my story, then please watch this video. So the story is a long story, but then I will cut it short. 2007, I returned back from UK after a British degree to Gurgaon, and they had opened the first center in Gurgaon by Max Hospital, the Max Group. They had started their first venture there, and I was one of the senior consultants in that. No one knew me there in the city of Gurgaon, but I worked really hard for 2 years, and after 2 years, like in 2009, I had established a practice for myself, a name for myself, which was something which myself I had never expected. It was success beyond imagination. Like, I'm talking about the materialistic success. So I had lots of patients and lots of patients who loved me, who trusted me, and who would come to me, and slowly my practice grew more and more and more, up to the extent that it reached to a height where I was like in my clinic for almost 8 to 10 hours a day, apart for conducting 6, 7, 8 vaginal deliveries. I was known for that, the one who gives trial, because I had come from UK, and in NHS it was a norm that you try for a vaginal delivery till the very end, and that is what I was following. Even in India, I was very conservative in my approach, just like Britishers are. I would not run for a surgery directly. If there were options where one could do without surgery, I would use that. So slowly, in nutshell, what I want to say is that I had built a quite huge practice where I was delivering 6, 7 ladies a day. I was conducting 4, 5 laparoscopic surgeries a day, apart for obviously running busy clinic in the Max Hospital Gurgaon, as well as in my clinic, which was personal clinic. So slowly things began, and in by 2014, I was such a busy doctor. I can't tell you how busy I was. And obviously in India, either you are a very busy doctor or you don't have patience. There's nothing in between. You cannot regulate the patient's pace that you will get. Like, if you have a roaring practice, then it's a roaring practice and you are busy day in and day out. If patients choose not to come to you, or if you try to regulate the lifestyle, even if you are an excellent doctor, then obviously the money that you earn is not good enough to sustain you despite all your competence and everything. So I was in the first mode where I was like just working too hard and working too much, and obviously the perk was that I was earning much more, but that would mean that I was not having adequate sleep. I was awake most of the nights because I was conducting vaginal deliveries. As I told before, 6, 7 deliveries in a day is no joke, day in and day out. And there were no Sundays, though I did not do OPDs or clinics on Sundays, but still there would be emergencies when you have so many patients around, and then daytime surgeries. And all the time I would be stressed and anxious, because whenever you are dealing with a human life, like when you are doing complicated surgeries, the heart rate automatically goes up. So I was getting that adrenaline drive, adrenaline kick all the time. So in a way, it was gratifying that I was doing such a high quality work, but and so many patients were getting benefited by my skills, which I had learned from India and England at that time. But slowly, somewhere, it was taking its toll on me, and it was to the extent that when I would get called from my home, I had no time to speak to my family members, and I would say, I can't talk because I'm busy. Up to the extent that one day my brother told me that you are a very extremely selfish person. You just think about yourself and you don't think about the family members. Now that is something which I felt very bad that day, because I thought that okay fine, I was earning for my son and I'm not having fun, but then they think that I'm selfish. But what I mean to say that this is how bad it had become. And but at the same time I was enjoying the kick which came from being the gynecologist in the town, and literally without exaggeration I'm telling you that is what the status was. I was the most successful gynecologist in the town of Gurgaon, and at a relatively young age, I was in my late 30s and I was already a success. But what started happening after that? I mean, all this I'm not telling to brag, it is just to tell you that every time monetary success or the success which world perceives is not what you need something more than that. And after like by 2012 etc, I had started not enjoying this success. Now what I mean by that is that no amount of number of patients or money would make me happy. Like neither I was unhappy nor I was happy, I had become numb. And in the meantime, what happened in 2013 or 2014, I had the first and probably till now that is the last medical legal case of my career, where I don't think I was at fault, but then still it happened, and in the end I did win the case. But then it was something which was stressful at that time. It was covered in national dailies and everything for a couple of days. But then okay fine, so just to let you know that how stressful the things had become. Since last 3-4 years there was this job which was offered to me in Australia as a consultant, which I was delaying, I was not accepting in since last 2-3 years. And that is when my family members told me that why don't you go and try it, maybe you will find some enjoyment back in your life, maybe you will start enjoying the life. And though I was reluctant, it wasn't easy, because when you are at the peak of your career, the so-called peak which is by Indian standards, and it is not very easy decision to leave everything and just go, because private practice is fickle. If you are out of sight, then you are out of mind. But then one fine day I decided, the adventurous streak in me said that no, unless I go ahead and explore, I would not know. Though monetarily I had no reasons to, but then I was feeling exhausted and drained by that time. One day my brother also said that the way you are going, the way you don't relax, the way you keep on working every day, like 7 days a week, 365 days a year, except for the few rare breaks which I used to take, because I was scared that if I go on vacation, my patients, you know, they would go here, there, and they would be delivered by some other gynecologist, and I will lose the money which would I have earned from delivering them. So I was like, you know, not taking good long holidays the way one should take. So eventually he said that you would not reach up to the age of 50, trust me, you will have lots of metabolic disorder, and that's it. So finally I came to Australia. And for initial 1 month I wasn't happy, because no one recognized me. I was just one of the commoners, one of the so many people around. There were times when I was going on night on calls, my car was pulled on side by the constable who wished to do a breath test on me, and I would be very much offended to think that how can they even think that someone as responsible as me or Kaushiki Dwivedee would be doing drunk driving. But that is how the rules were. And I mean, it was something, it was like a different world altogether from what I was used to in Gurgaon, where I would go to mall and people would identify me and they would be there to greet me. No one identified, and for 1 month it was depressing. And then I returned back after 1 month. I thought that I will be back in my private practice, and my patients were kind enough to come back to me. Like, I mean, they were coming with the same enthusiasm as before, but then again I decided to come back and at least give myself 3 months more time. So I gave myself that 3 months, and slowly I got used to the Australian way of living, because I realized here that the pace of life was something which I could control, right? I had left that high paying career, but here I was earning not more than what I was earning at that point of time, but at relatively much less hours spent working, because in countries like Australia and everywhere, it is supposed that a person is most productive where they're made to work not more than 38 to 48 hours a week. That is when they are most productive, they are safest, and that is what I was experiencing here. I could see that there was life beyond profession. There was life, in nature. You can go around, you can take care of yourself, you can exercise, you can give time to your family member, you can pursue rest of your hobbies, which was something which I wasn't able to do in my that corporate job as a doctor. And yeah, so slowly that is what I realized. And then when I returned back to India in 2016, people still expected me to be the same cutthroat obstetrician gynecologist who was like running after the patients. And to the disappointment of the corporate houses, they found that Kaushiki Dwivedee was a changed person now, who wasn't enjoying the same amount of hunger. Like, people say that you have to be hungry to be successful, and actually I had lost that hunger. I no longer had the hunger to outdo any other gynecologist. I was enjoying the way I was. So I worked in Indian corporate system again, and then I did not enjoy it, so I became a freelancer. Still, patients who trusted me, they still would visit me at my clinic. And now, did my money went down from what it was initially? For a while it did come down in comparison, not too much, but slightly it came down. I was not a corporate doctor, so obviously I was not getting that marketing and push as you get when you are a corporate doctor, but that was okay by me. I was enjoying so much more, which these poor doctors were not. And eventually today, if you were to ask me that where I stand, am I earning less, more than what I was doing then? I'm of course earning a lot more than what I was earning then. I'm a lot happier than before. I'm out of competition. No other doctor is my competition. It's a very well balanced life where I can take care of my health, I can take care of my family's health, I can take care of my monetary responsibilities. I'm totally out of competition. And I think that it is much more of a situation of a zen rather than being the gynecologist in the town as I was in India, because it was not healthy. So at the end of the day, the thing was, it was not a healthy practice which I was following. And thank God I realized it in time. I hope that you are able to do so to make necessary changes in your lifestyle. If you found this video interesting and worth sharing, do share, like, and subscribe my channel, as I would be sharing such health orientated, focused videos in future too. Till then, have a great week ahead.